Uh, Before we move into the storage engine, uh, yesterday we discussed about SQL Server architecture. Okay, what are the core components and what are the functionalities? Okay, in the high level we discuss. Okay, uh, do you have any questions? Everyone clear? Not clear?
No, sir, we're good.
Others, everyone clear?
Yes, clear.
Oh yeah, great. Now, yesterday when we let's open again SQL Server architecture diagram. Okay, so especially we focus on network protocol, shared memory, named pipes, TCP/IP, BAA. BAA is already duplicated, sir. We no need to worry. And we discuss about query engine, means database engine, DB engine, how DB engine is working. Our main focus yesterday is our DB engine, database engine, and when we performing any operation. So what exactly happening? Just recapping. So command parser will check the syntax checks and it will also check the semantic checks and it will bind the request and prepare the query tree and it will also verify any plan is available in the plan cache or not. Okay, means it will verify any plan is available in the plan cache. So data cache, plan cache. So if the plan is available, it will use the same plan. If not, it will pass to the optimizer. Then optimizer will prepare the execution plan. Optimizer will prepare the execution plan based on the cost, based on the selectivity. Okay. As of now, just remember only what is cost, what is selectivity. Anyhow, we'll talk more on the advanced level about the query executor. So you will become, query optimizer. You will become strong. Once the plan is ready, then query executor will start executing the query. But in entire relational engine, there is no data. So query executor will send request to the access method via ODBC connection in the network. It's in the background. See, everything is happening in the background. So access method contains multiple application programming interface, which is designed by Microsoft, where it can understand what sort of request it is. Now, access method will send request to the buffer manager. Buffer manager is nothing but like a RAM, sir. Okay, RAM. In the RAM, you are having a buffer pools. In the buffer manager, we are having buffer pools. Under the buffer pool, data cache, plan cache, log cache. Out of all the caches, data cache is the most powerful and most consumer in entire SQL Server. Not only SQL Server, if you go for any database engine, data cache is the most powerful consumer because it will holds the data. Now, it will verify any data is available in the data cache. Okay, if not, it will get the data from the database. If yes, it will send the data to the requester from the data cache. This is the high level. Up to this, okay, sir. You no need to go deeper. We'll slowly we'll talk about the deeper in the today's session. And tomorrow, no session actually. We'll again back on Monday. Okay. Tomorrow I'm having a DR drill, which is starting tomorrow midnight at 3:30 a.m. and it will go to the 3:30 p.m. And today also I will be busy after 10 o'clock. Okay, mostly if anyone is pinging and not able to respond, from 10:30 to 6 o'clock evening we are having production deployments, and over the night we are having DR drills as part of the year. Every year we'll do the DR drills. So we completed all the testing phase and now we are in the drill phase. Today's our final run. Means we'll move all our production connections data to the DR servers and we'll test it. So we'll talk about what is DR drill, how to configure DRs, what are the activities we will do under the DR drills. We'll talk all the stuff, sir. No worries. So that's the reason. Tomorrow no session. Maybe I will I'm not able to take. Okay, we'll back on Monday only. So what? How much we can? We can. I can't hear anything. Anyone? Everyone able to hear me? No? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll back on Monday. So what you people we will share what are the links we completed so far. Just refer tomorrow, day after tomorrow once again. Prepare the notes. Any questions we'll talk on the Monday. So next week is so important, everyone. We are going to discuss core SQL Server internals, and we will discuss about installations, recovery models, backups, and restores. These are the main base of entire SQL Server. Next whole week we'll spend a lot of time so that you will become strong in entire SQL Server next week. Later on, we'll move into the high availability, all that concepts. Now, without no doubts, right? Till now, everyone. Yeah. So if no questions means let's go on the storage engine. Yeah,
To be
storage engine. Yes, Gopi.
sorry to interrupt. So yesterday, the session I was attended, like you mentioned about the ODBC driver, right? To give the access method, the ODBC driver. That is available only for Windows server or Mac server. For other servers also, the driver will be available.
See, ODBC is nothing but connectivity, sir. If you wanted to make the connectivity between
Yeah.
the servers, okay, we will use the
Mm.
ODBCs, okay, to test the connectivity. So, for example,
Okay.
take application server, okay.
No, no,
Now,
that part I can understand. My question is whether that is only available for Windows alone or it is available for all the other flavors also, like Mac and Linux. We can use the ODBC drivers from those system as well.
no Windows, and you can also download on Linux.
Linux. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now we will talk on the storage level. Okay. Yesterday we discussed about the flow, data flow. Okay. But again, you are having a lot of questions. Subbu, when I'm reading the data, how my data flow is. When I'm writing the data, how my data flow is. That we will cover in the today's session if time permits. Otherwise, we'll talk on the Monday, sir. Okay. How data will flow when you are reading the data means when you are performing a select statement, how internally the process will happen when you are writing the data. See, basically we'll do two, either write, either read write, either read write or read or write we will perform. So when you are writing the data, how the data flow is, when you are reading the data, how data flow is, we'll talk in either if time permits today, otherwise we'll talk on the Monday. Now, see, to understand, okay, as a DBA, everyone must and should know about how to install SQL Server. Okay, so assume you already installed SQL Server. Okay, you already installed SQL Server. Mostly next week we'll discuss about how to install SQL Server. Meanwhile, assume you already installed SQL Server. Just if you install SQL Server, is our job is done? No. Okay, as a DBA, just installing SQL Server is not sir. So you need to create a databases. Okay, database is our primary component, a primary component in all database management systems. Either if you go for Postgres or Oracle or MongoDB or MySQL or Sybase or SQL Server. So once you install the product, once you install the engine, okay, DBA job is done. No, you need to create a database. So database is nothing but collection of objects. Database is nothing but collection of objects which is arranged in the proper format. Which is arranged in the proper format means when you create a database, it contains some structure oriented objects like tables, views, okay, stored procedures, functions, triggers, assembles, synapses, synonyms. Okay, materialized views, many more things will create. Okay, internally we'll do many things. When you create any database, the major object is a table where your data is holding. Means table is our primary object, sir, basically. So table is our primary object in any database management system. On the table, you will create the views, you will create the materialized views, you will create the indexes, okay, you will create the stats, you will create the stored procedures, you will create the functions, you will create the triggers, you will create the alias. Okay, so you can create a number of objects based on engine to engine. It will vary, but underlying concept is the same. Underlying concept is the same because all the database management system will use SQL as a common language. SQL is as a common language. Next week we'll discuss about SQL also. We'll talk what exactly developers are doing. So once you install SQL Server, our job is not done. What you need to do, you are going to create the databases. Assume this databases belong to car loan. This databases belong to sales. This databases belong to account. This database belong to department. So they will maintain multiple databases under one instance. Almost 32,767 databases you can create under one instance. Under one SQL server, you can create these many databases. Will I create this many? No, sir. Maximum, many organizations will create 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. Some people will maintain 100, 200, 300, 400 also, sir. Okay. We don't know why they will create these many databases because it will impact the performance like anything. If the databases are growing, if too many databases at one instance, definitely it will impact whole the performance. Okay, but you can create these many databases under one SQL server, under one SQL instance. You can create these many databases. Will I create these many databases? No, sir. I could see like a 200, 250 also databases has been created. Okay, so databases are very important. So you need to understand, okay, whatever you are creating, either table, either view, either functions, either triggers, either stored procedures, either statistics or indexes, everything will be created in your database. Respect to database, okay, every database stores a unique data. Every database will store unique data. So whatever the data you are loading means not user, developers, application team, whatever data they are loading, they will load to the respective database. So now you should understand about the database first. If you wanted to become strong in the storage engine, you wanted to understand about the database. So database is nothing but collection of objects, okay, which is arranged and easy to manipulate, easy to retrieve, okay, easy to manipulate, easy to retrieve, because that is arranged in the proper format, like in terms of tables, in terms of views, in terms of stored proc, in terms of functions, in terms of triggers. They will arrange in the proper format where you can easily accessible, easily manipulate, easily retrieve the data. So database will hold your data. Not see, once you create the engine, once you install the SQL server, then immediately what we will do, we will create the databases based on the requirement. Once you got the requirement, you will create the database and we will hand out that database to the application team, and they will start load the data. So we are not worrying about what sort of data, how much data they are loading, until unless if there any issue, we'll focus on that. So where your data is storing, our data is storing in databases. Under the instance, it will store under the databases. So you should understand about the database functionality. Now when you are going to create a database, okay, when you are going to create a database, right click on the database, click on new database. When you create the database, it is creating by default, it will create two files. By default, it will create two files. One is the data file, one is a data file, one is a data file, one is a log file. One is the data file, one is the log file. So this is how it looks like, sir. Okay. So when you go here, when you go to here, go to data, see .ldf, .mdf, and also you will get one more file called .ndf. So when you are going to create a database, what is happening in the background? It is creating two files. By default, two files. One is a master data file, one is a log file. So you can call it as a master data file. You can call it as a primary data file. You can call it as a primary data file, or you can call it as a master data file. The extension will be .mdf. And one more file it will create. One is the .ldf. .ldf, .mdf. And in case if you wanted to create one more, see, technically this you should call it as a data file, sir. Data file. So someone will call it as a data file, someone will call it as a master data file, someone will call it as a primary data file. In a simple to understand, it's a data file, sir. That's it. MDF and NDF, both, either MDF, either NDF is a data file where it is holding your data. Your actual data will holds in the files. In the file, see, you can see the size of the files. You can see the size of the files. Okay, your data will holds by the MDF or NDF. MDF or NDF. So by default, when you create any database, by default you will get only two files. One is a .mdf file, .ldf file. Nothing but master data file, log data file. Is it clear? First thing, when you are going to create a database, by default, two files will be created. One is a data file, one is a log file. What is the extension of data file? .mdf. What is the extension of log file? .ldf. Now you will ask one more question. Then what is the NDF, Subbu? What is the MDF, Subbu? What is LDF? See, actually your data will holds in the data files. This both we are calling as a data files only. Your actual data will holds in the data file. So either you will create NDF or one will be default. See, every database will holds one MDF file, sir. Later on, you can create multiple NDF files also. See, if you take Excel, everyone knows about Excel, sir. Don't tell no. So if you open Excel, okay, if you open the Excel and you start loading the data into the Excel, you are keeping loading 1 lakh records, 2 lakh records, 1 billion records, 2 billion records, 10 billion records, 15 billion records. Now what will happen? To open this file itself, it will, 1 second, sir. Sorry. See, you assume you are having only one Excel file. Okay, then you started loading the data. First you loaded 1 billion. Again you loaded 1 more billion. Again you loaded 1 more billion. Again you loaded 1 more billion. So what will happen, sir? To open this Excel sheet, it will take a lot of time, right? Yes or no? To load, it will take a lot of time. To open, it will take a lot of time because this file contains massive data. And this file is now impacting the performance. Now what you will do, you will create one more Excel file and you will load the data there also. Like same, if you are keeping everything in single file, it will impact our performance. As per the best practices, you will create one more data file to distribute the data. Okay, I don't want to keep everything in single file. Okay, I can keep the data in one more data file also. One more file, which will improve my performance, my DB performance. See, in general also same. You won't keep everything in single files or it will impact the performance. So we'll create multiple files and you will load the data, multiple files, and easily you can retrieve, easily you can modify, easily you can read. It will improve the performance, right? Like same in SQL also, you can create multiple data files, which will improve the performance. So that is why Microsoft came up with one more concept called .ndf. NDF stands for secondary data file. There is no M means master saying what you mean by N Subbu. No, sir. NDF stands for secondary data file. MDF stands for primary data file or master data file or data file. Again, both are data files only. So if you think that if my database is massively growing and everything is going to the one file which is impacting my performance, then you can move the data into the another data file. You can create one more data file, and whatever the data is available, you will move here some, so that this file will be improved performance. This file also will improve the performance. So overall, my database performance will be improved. Is it understandable? Why Microsoft came up with the one more data file called .ndf. So rather than keeping everything, see, in real world you will see terabytes of data. Okay, in real world you will see terabytes of data. Okay, like 5 terabytes, 10 terabytes, 15 terabytes, 20 terabytes, 30 terabytes. Maximum I saw almost 32 terabytes of data. One database size is 32 terabytes. Now, if you keep 32 terabytes of data in single file, will that database will give the best performance? Will the database will give the best performance, sir? No, right? And see, you also understand one more thing here, okay? About the disk capacity, about the disk also. See, where these files are keeping, where these files are keeping in the disk, right? Now you need to verify the disk also. So if you're keeping everything in single file and the file is growing, your disk also need to grow. Okay, so if your disk is keep on growing and it grown up to 32 terabytes, your disk size is 32 terabytes and your database is 32 terabytes. If something happened to this disk also, we are gone. If we wanted to maintain any maintenance on this disk also, very critical, sir. Means if storage team wants to do some cleanup on the disk and they wanted to take the snapshot of the disk, it is not that much easy to take 32 terabytes of disk snapshot. So we will distribute the data into the multiple drives, and we will create multiple NDFs. See, for example, this disk contains 8 TB, for example. I will create one more. Here I will keep 9 TB. I will create one more drive. Here I will keep 10 TB. I will create one more. Here I will keep again 8 TB. So now 32 TB will be distributed in this, in this, in this, in this. How I can distribute, Subbu, is I can create NDF files. Here I will create 2 NDF files. Here I will create 2 NDF files. Here I will create 2 NDF files and I will distribute the data into the NDF files, and I'm distributing the disk also, so that my performance will be increased. Clear, everyone? So why, Subbu, we need 1 second. Okay. Is it clear, understandable why Microsoft came up with the multiple data files? So rather everything keeping in single file, okay, create multiple data files, load your data into the multiple data files, which will improve the performance, and keep those data files in separate drives, which will give better performance also. Clear, everyone?
So, yeah. So each secondary data file should have its own disk.
Sorry?
Is that correct? Each secondary data file should have its own disk.
See, it's not like that own disk. Okay, we need to understand. See, as a DBA, see, when you are purchasing your laptop, okay, you won't create only single drive, right? You will create multiple disk based on your storage capacity. Okay, you know how much storage you purchase, and based on that you will create multiple drive, because assume this drive is dedicatedly for movies, for example. This drive is dedicated for music. This drive is dedicated for documents. Getting my point? So you are creating multiple drives and you are loading your data based on your hierarchy. Like same in real world also. If the database is massive, rather than keeping everything in single drive, single file, we can distribute into the multiple files and multiple drives also, which will improve the performance, right? Finally, we need to improve the performance as a DBA. As a DBA, you need to improve the performance. So how you can improve the performance? What is my DB size? How many files are there? How many tables are there? What is the table sizes? Is it any possible? Can we move those tables into the some other files? Okay, where we can keep in the some other drive, which will on the same server only. You are not keeping in different server. On the same server only, you are distributing the data, which will improve the performance. Find what means NDF. NDF contains data, but MDF is a mandatory. Every database, one MDF file is a mandatory. MDF stands for primary data file, master data file, or data file, sir. Okay, understandable?
Is there a limit for NDF files to create?
Sorry?
There is a limit to create an NDF data file?
We won't create those many data files again. Okay, like thousands, 1500s. We won't create those many. Maximum we'll create 5, 10, 15. Enough, sir. Okay, because if you're simply creating NDF files also, it is not, because it's very difficult to where our data is loading internally. If someone is asking, hey, what data is available in this file? What data is available in this file? Okay. In meaningful only we will move, sir. Okay. For example, to say, for example, when you open the table, see here you are having person data, you are having production data, you are having sales data, you are having purchasing data. Okay, see sales data, purchasing data, production data, okay, person data. And okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, total four schemas data we are holding. So you can create 4 different data files. Okay, 4 different data files. You can keep all the sales related data in one data file, purchasing data in one data file, production data in one more data file, person data in one more data file. Okay, I don't want to create massively, sir. I hope you understand.
Yeah, I understand. So,
okay, we'll talk about what is this schema, all this stuff. Okay, what is this schema, all this stuff in a while, sir. Okay, in a while. What you should understand is, okay, when we are going to create a database, by default, we will get 2 files. One is the data file, one is the log file. Data file, you also call it as a master data file. You also call it as a primary data file. And this is the default, sir. And you can create one more, means you can create multiple secondary data files also. .ndf. .ndf. Actually, where your data is loading, your data is loading in the MDF or LDF files. How it is loading, I told you, right? In the form of files, sir. It's like a file only, like Excel. In technical, it's Excel. In technical, we are calling as a LDF file, MDF file, LDF file, MDF file, NDF file, NDF file, NDF file, NDF, 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 LDF. See, it will store in the files only. Then what about LDF, Subbu? You are talking about more on data file only. Then what about LDF? Sir, LDF is very important. Okay. LDF is nothing but log data file. Data file. Log data file. Whatever the changes you are making, whatever the changes like insert, update, delete, whatever the changes you are making, all the changes, first it will go to the LDF file, then it will go to the MDF file. So you are not making any changes directly in the data files. Okay, no database management system allows to make the changes in the direct on data files. This is very risky, sir. Okay, now whatever the change you are doing, like you are inserting the data, updating the data, deleting the data, whatever the changes, right? All the changes will go into the log file, then finally it will move to the MDF file. How it is moving, who is moving, we'll talk, sir. Okay, until unless you have lot of questions. So try to understand only two things. Actual data will be stored in the data files. Change related data will be in the log file. Change, whatever the change you are, change is nothing but modifying. Whatever the data you are modifying will be in the log file. Will be in the log file. Now you'll ask one question. Can I create multiple log files, Subbu? Yes, you can create multiple LDF files. Okay, multiple LDF files, but there is no use. There is no use. Okay, there is no use. Means until unless this LDF file get full, data won't use, your transactions won't use this LDF file. Your transaction won't use this LDF file until this LDF file need to be completely filled. Then SQL Server will go for another LDF file if it exists. If you create one more LDF file, then it will use. Otherwise, LDF file no need, sir. Only one LDF is okay. Only one LDF, but you can create multiple data files because LDF contains only change related information, sir. After your change, whatever the changes you are making, right? Once these changes is moved to the MDF file, you can delete the data in the LDF file. You no need to maintain the data in the LDF files. Okay, so LDF file data will be reused every time. So when you are moving, when you are modifying, LDF will grow. Once your modification is done, again LDF will become the idle version. So LDF files multiple no need, especially if someone is asking a question, can I create multiple LDF files? Your answer should be yes, but there is no use by creating multiple LDF files like a data file, because once the LDF file is get complete, it won't use another LDF file. It won't use another LDF file. But data files are not like that, sir, because you know this MDF for sales data. You know this MDF for production data. Okay, when you are moving, when you are modifying anything, wherever your tables are hosted, automatically it will move. It will move. So because your tables are available in this file, your tables are available in this file, your tables are available in this file, right? Automatically it will distribute. Not like LDF file. LDF just holds the information, but actual data is here only. So you no need to create multiple log files, but better create the multiple data files. Your database size is massive, like a terabytes. If your database is terabytes, better create the data files if it is really impacting. Yes, over to you. Yes.
So that means in data file I can map the data, but in LDF I cannot map the change. Yes.
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat?
Okay. That means in data file I can map the data.
Yes.
But in LDF I cannot. Log file I cannot map the change.
Because LDF is holding only the records, sir. Here there is no data. In the LDF file, there is no data. It will hold the records. What do you mean by that records, sir? We'll talk. See, we'll talk a lot. Because log file itself, I need to spend more than 3 to 4 hours. Okay, this is very, very important in terms of performance tuning.
Okay.
So you need to understand about log file architecture, log file internals, and you should understand there is a dedicated session for log file architecture, sir. There is nothing about data files. Data files will host data. That's it. Data files will host the data. There is no architecture. There is nothing to understand. But you should understand about the log file, because log file every time it is need to be reused. Log file every time it need to be reused. What do you mean by that reuse? What is happening internally? We'll talk everything when we are discussing log file architecture, log file internals, log file troubleshooting. We'll talk, sir. Okay, 3 to 4 hours we need to spend only on log file to understand. So as of now, today, what you should understand is, okay, when I'm creating a database, internally it is creating two files. One is a data file, one is a log file. Data files which hold actual data, log files which hold change related information. You can create n number of data files, you can create n number of log files also, but log files are not that much user, because unless one log file get full, it won't use another log file. Means you can't distribute the log, but you can distribute data files, because we are creating the structure, right? Whatever these 5 tables,
Yes.
you
That's
will create here.
what I meant.
Yes, these 5 tables you will create here. These 5 tables you will create here. Now, whenever you are loading the data, SQL can understand where their structure is there, where I need to move the data. But log file, no, sir. Log file doesn't contains any data, just information. Information. What do you mean by information? That we'll discuss, sir.
So
Yes.
just Subbu, one last question on this topic. We discussed about the data files, right? We can have the many data files in the NDF, but for one database, there is only one MDF is there, right? We can't able to create multiple MDF. MDF should be one, and NDF should be multiple. Is that my
No, sir.
understanding correct?
No, sir. You can create. See, this is just extension.
Okay.
This is just extension. Some people also maintain, rather than maintaining NDF, they will
Okay.
maintain MDF only. Okay.
Oh, okay. Fine then.
But
Got it.
as a best practice, Gopi, good question. Try to make
Yeah.
NDF so
Okay.
that you can understand easily. Okay, so that you can understand. Oh, this is my data, secondary data files.
Got it. By default, it is created in a MDF. When we need the additional one, we need to create as a NDF.
NDF, yes. We'll talk, sir. Once we complete the installation, the first session I will take is, okay, how to create the database, okay, how to load the data, how to transfer the data. I will show you how to transfer the data also. Okay, I will show you from this to here, this to here. Okay, because nowadays they are asking question this one also, and you are having lot of questions here only. How to move data, Subbu? Okay, my production is running years, and I got an opportunity in the project. Now, what are the best practices I should follow? This is also one of the best practice. Okay, we'll talk, sir. I don't want to go hurry, because you should first understand what is MDF file, what is NDF file, what is log file. Is it clear? Don't think how to move the data, what sort of data. No, don't think that much. What is MDF? What is NDF? What is LDF? Is it understand? Everyone.
Yeah, Subbu. Yeah, Subbu.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it, sir. Don't think much. We will talk practically only. Okay, we'll talk practical once we complete the SQL installation. Now, okay, Subbu, I am creating a database. Okay, I am creating a database by mentioning the database name, for example, DB1. Okay, DB1. See, when you go for here, DB1 as a MDF file, primary means data file, sir. Here, there is a concept called file type. When you choose the file type as a rows data, it is a data file. When you choose the file type as a log, when you see the file type as a log, it is a log file. See, you can create one more. See, you can create any number of files. Okay, and you can choose Okay, either you want row, either you want data row. Okay, and there is one more concept called file stream. No worries about file stream as of now. We'll talk it later. Okay, we'll talk it later. So you can choose what file type. Based on the file type, you can easily understand, oh, this is data file, this is log file. Okay, you can create multiple. Is there any limitation, Subbu? I'm not recalling the actual numbers, sir. We won't create those many files. We won't create those many files. Okay, nowhere Microsoft also mentioned this many limitations. Okay, but we won't create those many files. No worries. No one will ask about how many data files you can create. So when you are creating a database, in the background, you are creating two files. One is a data file, one is a log file. Data file extension can be .mdf file, .ndf file. Log file extension will be .ldf file. How it looks like, sir? This is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. .ldf file, .ndf file. Now, okay, Subbu, I understood that once we install the SQL Server as a DB, we will create the database. While we are creating the database, we also need to look lot many, sir. There are lot many. Okay, when we are going to create a database, two files are creating. One is a data file, one is a log file. Okay, perfect. Now, in the data file, okay, how data is storing in the data file. Okay, I am creating a database. I am telling the data file is creating. In the data file, how your data is storing, sir? How your data is storing. Okay, your data is storing in the form of pages. In SQL Server, okay, your data is storing in the pages. Pages. Like everyone knows about the Word document, right? Easily to understand. 1 second, sir. Let's open the Word. Okay, everyone knows about the Word document, right? See, this is a Word document. This is one page. Okay, one page. And MS Office also Microsoft product only. Okay, this is one page where you can load the data into the space. Okay, when you double click here, you will get the header session, you will get the footer session, and you will get the actual data. Here you will load your data. In case if you wanted to set the header, you will set the header. In case you wanted to set the footer, you can set the footer. And actually your data will be loaded in the here in the middle of this. You will load the data, right? Like same how your MS Office Word page looks like. Your page also same, sir. Your page also same. Okay, one page size is 8 KB. One page, one data page. Try to understand data page where your data is storing under the our data in SQL Server. The primary storage is database. This database holds the data, your data, whatever data. Okay, whatever you are loading, where it is holding under the database. Under the database, your data is holding. What is the size of the database? 8 KB. What is the size of the database? 8 KB. The size of the database is 8 KB. So which contains header, footer, and data rows. Data rows. This is header. This is footer. And this is data rows. Okay, this is data rows. Header size is 92, not 96 bytes. 96 byte. Footer size is 2 bytes. And rest 8092 bytes will be the data rows. Okay. Header will store page ID. Okay. Object ID. Okay. Free space. Allocated space. Okay. Slots are very important, sir. Means slots is nothing but how many records are holding. Like 1 ABC, 5,000, 2 MNC 10,000, 3 Y XYZ, okay, 15,000. So how many records are available in this page? 3 records. How many slots? 3 will be there. So here object ID is very important. Page ID, object ID, free space, allocated space, next page, previous page, slots. This information will hold under the header session. Header session will hold historical information, means your page information, complete your page metadata information will be residing the header. Okay, footer means, okay, footer. Whenever you are inserting the data, updating the data, deleting the data, your data will comes from the footer to the data rows, and it will start load the data. So your footer will contains, okay, object record ID. Your footer will contains object record ID. Record ID. Here footer. Footer will contains object record ID, means whatever you are doing, it will enter into the footer only. From the footer, it will go to the data row session and it will start load the data. It will start load the data. Is it clear, everyone? No? Yes?
Yes.
Understandable? Not understandable? For your simple understanding, sir, header contains 96 bytes, footer contains 2 bytes. Whatever data you are loading, it will come from the footer only, and it will try to load the data. What information will be available in the header, sir? Page ID, object ID, means your table ID, page ID, how much free space in the page, how much is allocated, okay, what is the next page, what is the previous page, how many slots are available. All that information will be available in the page header. All the information will be available in the page header. Is it clear? No? Yes, everyone?
Yes, clear.
Okay. But here one thing, sir, I will go deeper in the upcoming classes. Okay. Now see. Okay. This is what you will get everywhere. Only one block, sir. He written very well. Okay. He written very well. One page size is 8192 bytes. Okay. One page size is 8192 bytes. Okay, 8096 bytes will be data pages, data rows. Okay, it will fit for data rows. 96 bytes will go for header. 2 bytes will go for footer. But there is one more concept. 7 bytes will go for the internal overhead. Okay, 7 bytes. No one will ask us. Just this is I'm passing information. Okay, overall actually 96 bytes. 2 bytes and 8096 bytes will go for the data rows, right? Apart from that, every page there is additional 7 bytes also there, that internal for internal purpose. Okay, internal purpose, internal overhead for at least 7 bytes. 7 bytes is holding for internal overhead. Internal overhead, it is holding the 7 bytes. So remaining will store your data. Remaining store will data. How Subbu means, I will let you know, sir. See, whenever you are going to create a table, so you need to verify how many columns you are going, what is the data type size. It will differ how many records will fit in the page. Okay, you can calculate, sir. Will I do any calculations Subbu here? Means no, sir. But when you are in the learning phase, right? When you are in the learning phase, you should understand. Okay. I am not telling all this stuff right away. Mostly next week I will tell, sir, once we complete the installation. But try to understand where your data is storing in the data files. Under the data files, we are having data pages. Under the database, our data is storing. What is the database size? 8 KB. 8 KB is your database size. One database size is 8 KB. which contains header, which contains footer. Okay, header size is 96 bytes. What sort of information is there in the header supu1 means I told you, right? Slots, previous page, next page, everything will be in the page header. Footer will contains the entry. Your record is entering from the footer. And data rows. This is a block of data rows which will hold the data. Which will hold the data. Is it clear, everyone? No.
Yes, Subbu.
Yes. Sir, footer, you can also call it as a row offset array. Okay. Footer, some people will call it as a footer. Some people will call it as a row offset array. Okay, a row offset array, which is the size of 2 bytes. Footer with size 2 bytes, header is 96 bytes, and rest will be the database. Now, still I will go deeper, sir. I will talk much more. No worries. This is the not right time to talk all this deeper. Being you are learning the first time, right? Okay, you will get confused at all. So I don't want go that much deeper right away. So try to understand. Your data is storing in the data pages the size of 8 KB. Is it clear, right, everyone? Up to this.
It is very
Yes.
clear.
Yeah.
In the context of the footer,
Footer is nothing,
each
sir.
row
Yeah, row.
each row contains an ID,
Yes.
an object ID.
Yes. That
Okay.
ID information will be stored in the footer, sir. Footer. See, somewhere you need to track, right, what records are going to the page, right? Somewhere you need to track what records are going to the page, right? That footer
Yeah.
is tracking. Footer is tracking, sir. That's it. For your simple understanding. Better understanding. See, header is going to take care everything. What header is taking? Page ID, okay, object ID, slots, next page, previous page, free space, allocated space, and buffer information, buffer info. Everything is storing in the header only. Then what is footer is doing means the record information. What records are contains in this page? That information is storing in the footer. That technically you are calling as a row offset. Okay.
You said that footer, the entrance place for the records.
Yes, sir. This you are technically calling as a row offset. You can call it as a row offset, or you can call it as a footer, sir. Anything is fine.
But now you said that footer is holding the records, sir.
Information, sir, not record. Record is holding the data rows only.
Achha.
In the data rows session, in the data rows, see what you will do, sir, when you open the Word document. Okay, what you will keep in the footer? Page IDs, right? Mostly we'll prefer to keep the page IDs. See, if I go for here, page IDs, correct? So that's the reason IDs it will hold. Data here only. Just take Word documents, sir. That is the best example. Don't get confused.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you will keep in the header session? Your name, your email address, your first name, middle name, email address, and your mobile number. You will keep in the header session, right? Right. And headings, you can also keep the chapter names, everything in the header, right? Like same header will hold the information related to everything. See, information. See, nothing here. Information. Information is very important. Not simply loading the data. You also, right? You will remember where you kept your data, right? You kept your data in the hard disk. You kept your data in the pen drive. You will get data in the laptop. You will kept your data in the mobile. Okay, you will remember. So that remember is nothing but metadata. That remember is nothing but metadata, sir. The metadata, it is holding complete metadata. Where your data? In the data row session only. In this block only, your data is holding, sir. Rest everything technically you can call it as a metadata. You no need to do anything, sir. Automatically it will updates. That technically will call it as a metadata. Clear?
So the page header can also be like a column. Can we also say it's like a column?
No, sir. No. We'll see, sir. I will open the page. I will show you. Okay. We will open the page. I will show you what data is available in the page. Okay. No worries. Page header contains historical data. Historical means page ID, object ID, slots, next page, previous page, free space, allocated space, buffer information will hold in the page header. Footer session is nothing but row offset which will hold the object record ID. Actual rows will be held under the data rows tab. That's it, sir. Okay, everyone? Clear? Not clear?
Yeah, Subbu, clear.
Okay. Now, sir, don't get confused. Now, this is very important. Now, many people will confuse here only from here onwards. Now, sir, Microsoft came up with the concept called extend. Okay, extend. Okay, Microsoft came up with the concept called extend. Extend is nothing but eight consecutive continuous data pages. Means 8 data pages. 8 data pages will called as a one extend. 8 data pages. It's simple for your understanding. 8 data pages we will call it as a one extend. We will call it as a one extend. One extend. And the size of the extend is 64 KB. 64 KB. So Microsoft came up with the concept called extend. Microsoft came up with the concept called extend. Okay, extend. If you want to understand, okay, what is extend? What is extend means 8 continuous data pages will call it as a one extend. The extend size is 64 KB. 64 KB means each page size is 8 KB. 8 into 8, 64 KB, sir. 8 into 8, 64 KB. Many people are having confused what about the extend, why Microsoft came means. So for example, this is your application, sir. Application connect to the OS. In this OS, it contains the SQL Server. Once you create the SQL Server, you will create the database. Once you create the database, you will get the files. Okay, MDF, LDF. These files will contain the extents. Extents contain the pages. Pages contains the rows, records. Is it understand, everyone? Okay. When you install SQL Server, our job is not done. When you install SQL Server, you will create the database. When you create the database, it contains the files. Under the files, what will be there, sir? Extents. Under the extents, what is there? Pages. Under the pages, what is there? Records. That's it. That is a hierarchy, sir. If you understand this hierarchy, you are good. Otherwise, many people will confuse here only. Just now you told that data is storing in the pages. Then again you are saying extend, Subbu. What is that? Don't get confused. Microsoft will create the extents. Under the extents only the pages are there. Okay, extents and sir, your data is storing in the data pages only. Don't get confused. But that database allocation is happening via extents. That databases allocation is happening via extents. So extents is the top hierarchy. Under the extents only the pages are there. Under the pages the records are storing. If you understand this flow, you are good, sir. Nothing to remember also. Very easy. Okay, very easy. What is the primary data storage unit is? Pages. Where our data is storing? Pages only, sir. But how the pages are allocating? In the form of extents. What is extents? 8 continuous data pages will call it as a extent. That's it. Is it clear?
So this one extent is equal to 64 kilobyte.
Yes, because it holds 8 data pages information, sir. 8 data pages information. This one extent. It is creating 8 data pages. It is creating 8 databases at a time. At a time, one extent is creating 8 databases. Yes.
The 64, how did they manage to come out with the 64 kilobytes?
Sorry, sir.
Like a page contains 8 kilobytes,
Yes.
while an extend
Contains
is a continuous of
8
8
pages.
pages,
Yes.
and one extend is equals to 64 kilobyte.
Yes.
How did you manage to come up with this
I
64?
will let you know, sir. Hold. Still, we not are done yet. Okay. We'll talk in a while. Okay. Who is creating that extend? We need to discuss that stuff, sir. Just understand, extend is nothing but 8 continuous data pages. One extend size is 64 kilobytes because 8 data pages, okay, into each page is 8 KB. 8 into 8 equal to 64 kilobytes only, right? Yes, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, that's it, sir. One extend size is 64 kilobytes because one extend is nothing but 8 data pages. 8 into 8 is 64 kilobytes. That's it. Who is creating this extends? How it is creating this extends? We will talk in a while, sir. If you understand about the extend. Any questions on extend, sir? Gopi, you are asking question? No, Gopi only, right? Someone is asking question. No? Everyone clear? No? Yes?
Clear, Subbu.
Okay. Now see, sir. Okay. Extends are 2 types. Okay. One is mixed extend. One is uniform extend. Uniform extends. Very, very important interview questions are all are very important. Okay. Whatever we are going to discuss till next weekend, you will get 15 interview questions. Okay. Extends is very important. Page is very important. Many more are very important, sir. We'll cover in next week also. 10 to 15 questions you will get by first 10 days only. That much is weight is all these concepts. Okay. So extends are nothing but 8 data pages called one extend, and one extend size is 64 kilobytes. Now, extends are 2 types. One is mixed extends and uniform extends. What do you mean by mixed extend? If 8 pages, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this technically we are calling as a one extend, right? Okay. If that 8 pages contains single object data, nothing but, for example, only employee data. If 8 pages contains single object data, then you will call it as a uniform extend. If that 8 pages contains multiple object data, okay, assume this 3 pages contains employee data, these 3 pages contains department data, and these are currently free. For example, these are currently free. Okay. If 8 pages contains different object data, then we'll call it as a mixed extend. Different object data. Definition wise, that's it, sir. Okay, don't think too much. Okay, we'll talk in a 5 minutes. Okay, we'll talk in a 5 minutes. Definition wise, understand first. What is extend? 8 consecutive continuous data pages, we'll call it as a one extend. Each extend size is 64 kilobytes. Okay. In SQL Server, we are having 2 types of extends. One is mixed extend, one is uniform extend. Okay. What is mixed extend means? If 8 pages contains different object data, then we'll call it as a mixed extend. If 8 pages contains the single object data, then we'll call it as a uniform extend. That's it, sir. Definition wise, understand. Okay. Next, we'll talk. who is creating, how SQL Server is tracking this information. We'll talk, sir. Clear? Not clear?
Yes.
Yes, clear.
Okay. Okay. Now, so as we discuss, okay, storage, page is very important, page header, page footer, and actual data row, sir. As I talk, page header will contains the page related information. Data rows will contains the actual data, and footer will contains the object record information, so not data. And extent, if 8 pages contain single object data, like this, if 8 pages contain single object data, then we'll call it as a uniform extent. If 8 pages contains different object data, then we'll call it as a mixed extent. And what is the extent? Extent is nothing but collection of 8 physical consecutive continuous data pages. We'll call it as a extent, and each extent size is 64 kilobytes. Each extent size is 64 kilobytes. Now you need to understand. We discussed about the extent. We discussed about the page. In SQL Server, we are having 10 types of pages. In SQL Server, we are having 10 types of pages. 10 types of pages. What are the 10 types of pages? Means data page, GAM page, SGAM page, PFS, DCM, BCM, IAM, boot page, text and image pages. If we calculate all this, 10 pages are available in SQL Server. Okay, I know you may.
So sorry. Do we need to know all this stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir. Yes, but you are not doing anything, Krish. Nothing you are not doing. But interview point of view, they may ask you the questions. For that only, I am stressing here. Okay, because if you're not understanding what to see, yesterday I told you, right? When you connect to the SQL Server, when you perform select, okay, star from EMP, okay, star from sales, sales order, when you are executing, it is very easy, sir. In the front end it is very easy, but in the back end what is happening, that's what we wanted to understand first. As I told you, right, first 10 days it is very hard to SQL Server, sir. Okay, very hard. What and all this, Subbu? I'm getting confused a lot, but I'm promising you after 10 days you love SQL a lot, because you will go concept wise. Concepts are very easy, sir. Why you wanted to learn all this stuff means you should understand how my pages are creating, who my pages are creating, who my extents are creating, where my data is storing. Okay, you should understand, right? We can't simply perform backups, restore, configuring high availability, and saying that, hey, I know SQL very well. But if you talk internal, many people don't know about these concepts, sir. They are having years of experience. But completely many people are unaware of these concepts. They are surveying in the market. We also survey in the market without knowing this one. But I don't want AzureSQLChamp don't want make this one, sir. Okay, it will be hard for you first 10 days, but I'm promising you will become strong in SQL. I hope you understand, everyone. It will very hard. Many people are unaware of these concepts. Many people, sir. But why I'm highlighting all this stuff is these are all core components. You should understand the core part to become strong. If you construct the base very strong, sir, you can construct how many floors, you can construct that many floors, sir. If your base is not good, will you be able to construct, sir? No. Definitely it will fall. Either second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor. Somewhere it will damage. So I felt that you need to have more base. Okay. So that is the reason we are stressing a lot the base, sir. Okay. No worries. Simplest answers only I'm conveying you, sir. You no need to prepare. You no need to buy hard all this one. Okay, in SQL Server, data is storing in the data pages. Each data page size is 8 KB, which contains header, footer, actual data rows. Header size is 96 bytes. Footer size is 2 bytes. Data row size is 8096 bytes. Okay, header will contain the page ID, object ID, record ID. Object ID. Slots. Slots is very important. Next page, previous page, allocation space, that information. We will see the page also, sir. You will learn how to see the page, how to read the page also. Okay. Extents. Extent is nothing but 8 physical continuous data pages. We'll call it as a one extent. And extent size is 64 kilobytes because each page size is 8 KB, 8 into 8, 64 kilobytes. We are having two extents, uniform extent, mixed extents. So if 8 pages contain single object data, it's a uniform extent. If 8 pages contains multiple objects data, that is a mixed extent. Is there any difficulty to remember this 4 to 5 lines, sir? Just 4 to 5 lines. You no need to buy hard all this stuff. Just 4 to 5 lines. That's it. The rest no one will ask. So like that, you can prepare the notes, sir. When you are watching the recording, prepare the notes. How I need to drive to the interviewer. How I need to explain to the interviewer. Okay. Anyhow, we will get the form, sir. I will share you the Google form. There you need to provide the definitions. I will read your definitions. Okay, whatever you are preparing, and I will correct you. Okay, and I will correct you, sir. Is it fine, right, everyone?
Yeah, Subbu.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, so we are having 10 types of pages in SQL Server. This is also very important question. How many types of pages in SQL Server? Okay. Database, GAM page, SGAM, PFS, DCM, PCM, IAM, and boot page, index, and image page. Now try to understand one by one. It will confuse you a lot, sir, but try to understand. Okay, understand only you need to do. So you know about database. Just now we discussed database will hold the data. That's it, sir. Database will hold the data. That's it. Now the first page in the database. When you create any database, the first page it will create is the PFS. The first page it will create the PFS page. The first page will be the PFS page, sir. Page free space. PFS stands for page free space. Where is my slide? Yeah. First page will go for the PFS page. Page free space means what it is doing. Every database, how much free space is available, that page information will be storing in the PFS space. Of course, each database also, database is storing the free space information. Okay, is storing the free space information. Out of the box, your PFS page is also tracking free space information. Out of the box, your PFS page is also tracking free space information. So not only every page is tracking the free space information, your PFS page is also tracking. Okay, so what is the PFS page? PFS stands for page free space information, which is tracking each database free space information. Okay, not okay, everyone.
Can I ask why?
Yeah, see, when you are loading the data, okay, when you are loading the data, you should know about which page having free space to load the data, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
See, simply Microsoft is not loading the data, sir. Loading the data is very important. So when you are loading is nothing but writing, sir. Writing, like inserting the data. When you are inserting the data, Somewhere you need to track that so-and-so page is already allocated for that object. So-and-so page is having already free space. First go and load there rather than creating new pages. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Otherwise, see, storage is also very important, sir. We are paying much for the storage. We should not waste the storage. Okay, we should not waste the storage, right? Now to track that information, the PFS page is going to take care. Now, when you are loading the data, first it will try to read the PFS page. PFS page will tell that, hey, for this object, okay, from 950 page to 1050 pages are free. Okay, go and load the data. Now it will load from here to here. After that, there is no free space. Now what it will do? It need pages. You are loading massive data. It need pages. Okay. Then it will go and ask the GAM page. Hey GAM, I am loading some data. Will you provide me the extents? Will you provide me the extents? Okay. Now GAM will start allocating the extent to that your operation. Okay, not okay. Everyone, getting my point? Getting? So first, when you are loading the data, it will go to the PFS page, verify any pages which are mapped to this operation contains the free space. First, it will try to load the data. Okay, like for example, how it is tracking Subbu PFS page means 1 to 50% free, 51 to 80% free, 81 to 95% free, 96 to 100% free. This is how it is tracking internally. This is how it is tracking internally. Will I see this data? Yes, sir, I will show you. Sir, we'll go for practical, no worries. I'm not just discussing theoretical. We'll go everything as a practical. You can understand. So this is how your PFS page is tracking the information. Now it will start loading the data, whatever the pages it got free. After that, still I need to load the data, right? After that, what is happening? Now it will go and request the GAM page. Now GAM is nothing but global allocation map. GAM stands for global allocation map. Your extents allocation is happening via GAM page only. Okay, via GAM page, the extension is happening. Creation. Extensions are creating. Who is creating the extensor? Who is extents is nothing but data pages only. Sir, extents is nothing but database. Don't get confused. So who is creating the data pages? GAM page. Your GAM page is creating the extents. So each GAM page size is 4 GB. Each GAM page size is 4 GB, which will hold 64,000 extents information. 64,000 extents information. For example, you are creating a table. You are creating a table. For this table, it is allocating 10 extents. Okay, 10 extents. Out of 64,000, 10 extents has been allocated. Now, how many are there? 63,000. Okay, 63,990 extents are free. Okay, you are loading the data. To load the data, you need 100 extents. Okay, now 63,890 extents are there. Now it will start using all this 64,000 extents information is gone. Then it will create one more GAM page. After this 64,000 extents allocated, it will create one more GAM page. It will create one more GAM page. Please make a note down. After 64,000 extents has been consumed, then it will create one more GAM page. And again, the GAM page size will be 4 GB only. But you will get confused whenever you see the database size. Hey, Subbu, how I can trust you? When I see my database size is only when I see my database size is only 80 MB. 80 MB. My database size is 80 MB, and you are saying one GAM page size is 4 GB. What? My database size is 8 MB. You are saying that one GAM page size is 4 GB. How I can trust you? Okay, it is not static allocation, it is dynamic allocation. Okay, SQL Server dynamically allocating. SQL Server dynamically allocating. What do you mean by dynamically allocating, Subbu? What do you mean by dynamic allocating? Means when you start loading the data, the extents are creating, the pages are allocating. Okay, until unless you perform certain things, your extents will allocated, your data will allocated, pages will allocated. If you're not doing, it won't create. So your GAM page will grow up to 4 GB. It contains 64,000 extents information. Is it understandable? No? Yes? Everyone?
Yes, Subbu.
Sir, come on. If you're not understanding, please raise your voice. Yes? No?
Got it, Subbu.
Okay. So don't get confused by seeing the database size. You will get confused. Oh, Subbu, you told that it is a 4 GB, but my database size is 8 MB only. How? No, sir. It is dynamically allocating. Means if you are using the database, the size is growing. For example, a simple example, sir. You created one notepad. You created one notepad. Okay, you created one notepad, or you created one Excel. What is the size of the Excel when you create? It will be 0 KB only, right? When you just start loading the data, the Excel size is increasing. Your notepad size is also increasing, right? Yes or no? Everyone? Yes, right? When you load the data only, the size is increasing. Like same things are SQL is also. If you are loading the data, the database size is increasing. Internally it is creating the extents, internally it is creating the data pages, and it is loading the data. If you're not doing anything on the database, nothing. Your database sit idle only. Your database sit idle only. So to understand more, first PFS page very important. So first page is the PFS page in the database. Second page is the GAM page. Second page is the GAM page. First it will verify any free space is available. If free space is available, let's load the data. If there is no free space, then it will go to the GAM page to get the extents. Is Microsoft is tracking information, sir? Yes. If the GAM extends internally, okay. If GAM extend is one bit, okay. For each extent, the interval is if 1 bit, the extent is free. If the bit is 0, the extent is allocated. So internally, Microsoft is tracking. Okay, if the extent bit is 0, oh, that is allocated. If extent bit is 1, oh, this extent is free, I can allocate the extent. That is how Microsoft is tracking the extents. Allocation. So GAM page is extents allocation. PFS page is database usage information, free space information. Now, okay, Subbu, the GAM page is allocating. You are saying that GAM is allocating extents. Now, this is your extent. Okay, this is your extent. GAM page is allocating one extent. Now, each page free space is information is tracking by the PFS page. Each page free space information is tracking by the PFS page. Each page it will track. Okay, each page it will track. The PFS page will track the information. Now, this is the extent, right? In this extents, any free pages are there. Okay, for example, you are loading a data. You are inserting 10 records. Okay, you are inserting 10 records, and that 10 records also very smaller. This 10 records will fit in these 2 pages. Okay, in these 2 pages. Currently, 6 pages are free in this extent. In this extent, 6 pages are free. Now, somewhere we need to track that whether the extent, whatever the extents are allocated, whether that extent is completely filled with the data or that extent is having free space. Yes or no? Yes, right? That also need to track, right?
Yes.
That is tracking by shared global allocation map. Okay, SGAM. SGAM will track with whatever the extents are allocated by the GAM base, where whatever the extents are allocated by the GAM base is completely filled with the data or it is having some free space. So SGAM is tracking the information, okay, about the space. PFS is tracking the database information, free space. Okay, GAM is allocating, sir, all are different. This is allocated. This is tracking. These two are tracking. This is allocating. Don't get confused. Don't get confused. GAM is allocating. SGAM, PFS space, tracking the free space information. That's it, sir. Very simple. That's it. Okay. So SGAM will also holds, okay, 64,000 extents information. Okay. How many extents are creating, sir? 64,000 extents information, right? That 64,000 extents information, it will hold information, not data. Please don't get confused. Information, not data. Data is storing in the database only. These are all informations. These are all information, sir. Okay, so SGAM will also contains 64,000 extents information. How it is tracking? Okay, if the bit is 1, the extent being used, okay, extent being used and having some free space. And having some free space. The extent is used and having free space. If bit is 0, if the bit is 0, means the extent is completely filled with the data. If the bit is 0, the extent is completely filled with the data. So try to understand only these two, sir. Don't read all this whatever I mentioned in the presentation. Very simple. Database holds actual data. PFS will track each database free space information. GAM page will allocate the extents, and each GAM page size is 4 GB, which holds 64,000 extents creation information. Okay, if the bit is 1, the extent is free. If the bit is 0, the extent is allocated. When you go for SGAM, will also holds a 64,000 extent free space information. If the bit is 1, the extent is used and having some free space. If the bit is 0, the extent is completely filled with the data. Is it clear about these 4 pages, sir? The first page is the PFS page. GAM page is the second page. SGAM is the third page. Okay. Database size, database sequence. When you go for sequence of, when you create a database, the sequence, right? This is PFS page. This is GAM page. This is SGAM page. Okay. And this is our database. Database position will be 7th or 7th, sir. Okay. And one more page, sir, 9th page is our boot page. 9th page is our boot page. We'll talk about the boot page. I am not discussing today about DCM page. Okay, I am not discussing today about DCM page, and I am not talking about, BCM page, IAM page, sir. When we are discussing backup, I will talk this page on backup day. When we are discussing recovery model, I will talk this page on recovery model day. When we are talking about indexes, I will talk about this index page, or IAM page index day. So I am not talking about these 3 pages: DCM page, BCM page, IAM page. So IAM page will talk on index day. BCM page I will talk on recovery model. DCM page I will talk on the backup day. Okay, so that you will become strong. But
Okay. So,
definitely they will. 1 second, Gopi. Definitely they will ask you question. What is the difference between GAM and SGAM, sir? This is very, very important interview question. Many people will confuse. Very simple, sir. You are remembering, not remembering. We are not worrying, sir. Only you should remember is GAM, SGAM, both are working for extents. GAM is allocating the extent. SGAM is tracking the extent free space information. That's it, sir. You no need to tell anything. If you're remembering these 2 lines, you are awesome.
Which means the page free space and share global allocation map, the kind of
Extends free
work
space
they said.
information. No, extends free space information, this one. This is pays free space information. This is extends free
Okay.
space information. This is pays free
Oh,
space information.
all right.
Yeah.
so
Okay, thank you.
SGAM is tracking the external free space, right? It's both the external free space like uniform and mixed. Both the external free space
Yes.
it's tracking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes. Just for interview purpose, sir, all this, okay. Technical point of view also, it's very important. We won't go on verify all this stuff, sir. Okay, but all are very important only. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, okay, let's talk about this page, sir. Okay, boot page. Okay, boot page. So to talk about boot page, what very, very important page, sir. You can drag and drop. Okay, see, boot page. Okay, every database will host the boot page, sir. Boot page. Okay, boot page, and it is the 9th page. It is the 9th page in the sequence. Every database contains one boot page, only one boot page, sir. Every database will contains only one boot page. This boot page will be available only in the MDF file. MDF file, whatever the file you are, it is going to create, right? See, the first file, whatever you are going to create, right? This file, this data file, that file will hold the boot page, sir. Boot page. Every database will contain the boot page, and it is the 9th page, which will hold entire your data metadata information. Entire your database metadata information. The boot page is holding your database metadata information. What do you mean by database metadata, Subbu? Okay, to show you DBCC, DB info, and you are passing database name with the result table format, sir. I want to, whatever the output I am getting, I want to see. When I run this one, okay, when I run this one, you are not getting anything. So when I run this one, you will get in the form of data. See, okay, you are getting many information. See, you are getting DB version, when you DB creation version, status, created date, database name, ID, compatibility level, okay, collation, dirty page last relation, what is the dirty page it moved, okay, and much more. Out of this, one of the most very important field here is this one, sir. This one, very, very important interview question, very, very important point. As a DBA, you mustn't should remember this point. Okay, when was your last DBCC check DB run successfully? Okay, there is a command called DBCC check DB. check DB, which will check the consistency of your database. Means corruption. Whether my database is everything is fine. Like you do antivirus scan, right, sir? Is there any file got corrupted? Like that, you will do antivirus scan, right? Like same. If you go to the database, there is a concept called DBCC check DB, which will check the consistency of your database. Whether page got corrupted, file got corrupted, record got corrupted, index got corrupted, table got corrupted. Is there anything corrupted? It will display, sir. When you run DBCC check DB, it will hold the information in the boot page. Okay. What was the last DBCC check DB triggered? If someone is asking, hey, how we will get to know when was my last DBCC check DB run? I can get that information by reading the boot page. So boot page will hold massive information. Okay, like database version, DB version, DB creation, DB name, DB compatibility, DB collection, last 30 page, okay, trace files, checkpoint, okay, and much more information will be held in the boot page, sir. So complete database metadata information will be held in the boot page. Only one boot page will be created. That too, it will be available in the only in the MDF file. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Subbu.
Okay, very powerful interview question, sir. Very powerful concept you should remember. Okay, when you are dealing with the corruptions. Okay, if your my database got corrupted, how you can recover the data means first I will verify when was my last DBCC good run happened. Okay, oh, I came to know last week only we done the DBCC check DB. What is last? Yeah, last week only we run the DBCC check DB. Means today Saturday you done the DBCC check DB, sir. Now your database got corrupted today. Means from Saturday to Sunday in the middle something happened. We don't know when it happened, but today you got the pop-up that my database got corrupted. Today you got the pop-up that my database got corrupted. Now that is a little dangerous because almost 5 days we don't know when my database got corrupted. You don't know when my database got corrupted, and you are in the Friday, and your DBCC check DB triggered on the Saturday, last Saturday. Now it's very difficult to troubleshoot, sir. Okay, so we'll talk everything in the corruptions. When we are talking on the corruptions, almost 2 to 3 days we'll spend on the corruptions, sir. 2 to 3 days we'll spend on the corruptions. We'll talk all this stuff, sir. Okay, we'll talk all this stuff. Please, just remember to show you what is the boot page, Subbu. To show you what is the boot page, I wanted to display, sir. Boot page contains metadata related to your database. Your database, not database, a database. Whole database metadata will be stored in the boot page, and it is our 9th page. And it is our 9th page, sir. And only one boot page will be available. Only one boot page will be available. And the text and image files, sir. You remember? Just now I told you, right? Not much I discussed, but
So
there is
how to read this boot page, Subbu? Like how you open
how
it?
to
Is just read the boot page. Here
this
you are
one, sir.
showing
This is
some
the
kind of
command, right? No, this is the command.
the first one, right?
Yeah, first one, sir. Remove this one.
The adventure is the DB name. The adventure works
No.
to be the one.
DBCC, DB info,
Okay.
and database name with the table result. If you are not passing, you won't get the information. Okay.
Okay.
You should pass the table info also. You will get this information. Whatever you are seeing, where it is getting, sir? From the boot page only, copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this information is calling for the AdventureWorks 2019.
Database info. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you wanted to see one more database, then definitely you can copy this one. Okay. Go to here, remove the DB name, and get the database name. Okay. And you can run here. That's it. Okay, it will get this database name information.
So what if now we have multiple databases and we want to run this
Why,
command?
sir? Why
Are
you
we,
will
are we
see, sir?
going to
We
use?
won't see. See, we won't run this command. We won't run this command.
Okay.
But why I displayed here means this is the one of the top most point you need to remember, sir, as a DBA. Forget about interview point of view. I'm not worrying about interview. In reality, when you are specially working with the corruption, this boot page will help us a lot because it will tell us when was your last check DB happened. I am not worrying about rest of the things, sir. I'm not worrying about rest of the things. I am worrying about what was my last check DB triggered. You can use this command, sir, or you can go for the Glenberry. Okay, Glenberry. It's a 2019, right? My SQL Server. I will talk all this, sir, in the upcoming. He provided a best scripts. He provided a best scripts. This one. Mostly, I won't run this command also, sir. In the real world, I will run this command, sir. Okay, this query I will run. When I trigger this one, it will display complete about your backups. When was your last full backup happened? When was your last differential backup happened? When was your last log backup happened? And one of the most important column is when was the last check DB triggered? I hope you understand. I can get from the boot page. I can also get from this script.
Got it, Subbu.
This is the most powerful script, sir, I will use in real world, especially when I'm dealing with the backups, restores, corruptions. Backups, restores, corruptions. This is the most powerful script. If I run this one, I will get everything on fly. See, I am getting the recovery models. I am getting why my log backup is not truncating. Okay, not truncating. I can guess what my last backup happened. I can get what was my compressed backup size. What is my regular backup size? What was my compressed backup size? Very, very important. At one shot, you are getting many things, sir. See, at one shot, we are not a developer to design everything, but many experts are provided many scripts, sir. Out of that, I felt this script will provide you a lot of information. I hope you understand. Again, don't think all this stuff. Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk. I don't want divert, sir. Yes.
Are you going to teach us how to read this?
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah, everything, sir.
Thank you.
Everything you will get to fulfill your job. Okay, that much we'll talk. No worries. But don't get means. I told you, right? First 10 sessions will hectic, sir. The first time who are learning, you will feel very hectic first 10 sessions. Okay, but I can't do. As a DB, you must and should know. And regarding test and image base, sir, there is a concept I told you, right? When you are enabling the file stream, okay, there is a concept called file stream, which will improve the performance, sir. Means SQL can store text files, SQL can store images. Like for example, if you go to the bank to open the account, they will ask you your ID proof. They will ask you your passport size photo, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
When you go to the visa, okay, for example, from India to US, India to Australia, India to Singapore, they will ask you multiple documents, right? And they will take your scan and they will storing their in their databases, right? So if your database holds text, images, that stuff, these kind of pages will come into the picture, sir. Otherwise, regular only. Okay? Not okay. Yeah.
So we need to choose the file type as file str in order to store the text and image page.
It will improve. You no need to select this one, sir. You can
Okay.
go for regular only. But what will
Okay.
happen, right? Your database size will grow massive, and it will impact actual data, sir. If your
Okay.
database is for storing images, PDFs, that stuff, we will encourage as a DBA. We will encourage our application team. We will go for file stream. We will create a dedicated file stream file. Okay, you can load images, text document in this file only. In this file only. Getting my point?
Yeah. What is the file stream, right?
Yeah. File stream data.
Okay.
Means our actual data file will load normal data, sir. Okay. Employee name, employee ID, like account holder name, account holder first name, last name, middle name, address, everything. But your image, your ID proofs will be stored in this file stream file.
Okay.
This is also NDF file only, sir. Again, this is also NDF file only, but this is dedicatedly for file stream purpose, files purpose.
Okay.
Understood? That
Yeah,
understood?
got it.
Okay, that's it, sir. Today, from Monday onwards, we'll go for more on practical. Okay. Monday we'll go for theoretical only, sir. From Tuesday, I think we'll go for practical. Okay, 10:30 I will start my deployment, sir. So I need to have my breakfast, everything, get it ready. Today and tomorrow I will be literally busy. Again, I need to wake up tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock, early morning. Okay, let's see. Hope everything will go smoothly only. Because that deployment contains AWS Lambda, Azure DevOps, GitHub pipelines, many things we are doing apart from SQL, along with SQL, not apart from SQL, along with SQL.
But
Hope
one question, Subbu, but generally deployments will be taken care from application end, right? DBA team is
no,
doing for the SQL.
I am the application support. I am the DBA. I'm the
Okay.
AWS, Azure,
Okay.
data engineering stuff. So I will handle everything. Sir.
Okay, got it.
Sometimes I will go mad. Over, sir, sometimes. Okay. Any questions, sir, before we stop? Okay, don't oversearch these concepts. Okay, just 1 or 2 lines only prepare. Short and sweet answers are prepared. Okay, short and sweet answers. We don't want too much. Okay, to remember to store your brain. I don't want such a lot. Short and sweet answer prepared, sir. Okay, that is well and good. There is important question. Page is very important. Extents is very important. GAM and SGAM is very important. Okay, boot page is very important in terms of technical point of view, not interview point of view. Okay, BCM, DCM, IAM page, I will talk in the respective concepts, sir, so that you will become strong in that concept. Okay, strong in that concept. That's it for today. If no questions, have a great weekend. Thanks everyone for your great support.
I would recommend to our guys to watch this recording session one more time so that we'll have some clear clarity, so that we can have some clear understanding. Even though we may forget the topics, right? So if we are go through this your recording one more time, I will take a note means, then they will not forget.
Definitely, sir. Yes. That's what I will tell to everyone. Okay. See, was the recording. Okay. The people who are first time listening, sir. Okay. I will categorize into 2. Experienced people, you can understand. I am not worrying about them. Okay. Because you can understand the terminologies, all this. The people who are starting the journey, what you can do, right? Keep the headset, watch the recording, write the notes. Either it can be wrong or right. Write the notes. Send it back to me. Send it back to me. Definitely, I will review, sir. Okay, Subbu, this is what my understanding regarding day 5 session. Is it right or wrong? Definitely, I will adjust the flow. One more thing I'm doing, sir. Next next weekend, not next weekend, sir, Wednesday, you will get one Google form. You need to fill that form, sir. It contains all the questions. What are the important concepts so far we discussed, right? That questions will be there. You need to prepare that Google form. Don't ask a ChatGPT, sir. Okay? Whatever you decide to explain to your interviewer, fill that in the form. I will adjust. Okay? Every form, whatever we are sharing, right? Sharing with you, right? Once everyone fill that form, we will provide you the tentative date. Okay, we will provide you the tentative date when you need to complete the form. Once you ready, the form is ready, I will take one session on that form discussion, sir. Is it fine, right, everyone? Then you will become double strong. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So until that form, you can watch the sessions, sir. You don't need to worry about all the stuff. Okay. We are not deep diving anything. We'll digest you, sir. Okay. Still, I know many experienced people having many questions. It will be clarified by next week. Okay. Whole until next Saturday, sir. You will clarify all your doubts. Okay. Thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you for this.
Great
Sure.
weekend. No session for tomorrow. We'll back on Monday, sir.
Thank you.
I will post you how the DR went well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.